Hi guys, it's Olga. So Halloween is coming up, the time where everybody likes to overdose on candy. So should you miss out on all the fun just because you want to eat clean? I had this crazy idea. I wanted to recreate 5 popular candies and make them healthy. So that's exactly what we're doing today. I think you guys are going to be blown away by the results as much as I was. Let's get started. The first candy we're going to recreate is Snickers. As you know, Snickers has multiple delicious layers. We're going to start with the nougat layer first. To make it, you will need almond butter, maple syrup, or another liquid sweetener of your choice, and coconut flour. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Then combine all of the ingredients in a bowl and mix well. Next, place the mixture on top of parchment paper and press flat with your hands to form a rectangle. You want it to be about ½ inch high. I like to fold the parchment paper like this to even out and smooth the sides. Now that you've got yourself a good looking rectangle, we're going to place it in the freezer to set for about ½ an hour. Meanwhile, let's prepare the caramel layer. You will need dates, water, coconut oil, vanilla, and salt. We're also going to top this layer with some peanuts. I like to soak my dates in hot water for a couple of minutes before blending. This really makes the process much easier. So after you're done soaking the dates, combine all of the ingredients except for peanuts in a blender or food processor and blend until smooth. By the way, if you ever need to make caramel for another recipe, definitely try using this combination. It works really well. This is the consistency you're looking for. When your first layer has set, remove it from the freezer and spread the caramel layer on top. As always, check out fablunch.com for exact measurements and directions for all of these recipes. Once you're done with the caramel layer, place the peanuts on top of it and press on the peanuts with your hands to smoosh them into the caramel. So we've got all of our peanuts placed nicely on top of the caramel layer. Now this goes back into the freezer for about 5 hours or overnight. When the time is almost up, prepare the chocolate layer to coat the bars. Here is what you will need: cacao or cocoa powder, coconut oil, and maple syrup. Combine all of these ingredients in a bowl and whisk until well incorporated. The best way to coat your candies with chocolate without making a mess is to place them on top of a cooling tray with parchment paper under it. Remove the rectangle from the freezer and cut into 6 full-size bars, or 12 mini ones. Dip each bar in chocolate, making sure that you cover all of the sides, and place them on top of the cooling tray. Now let's freeze this candy one last time for 15 to 20 minutes to let the chocolate harden. And your homemade guilt-free Snickers are ready. I can't even describe how amazing they taste. If you eat it right away out of the freezer, it kind of tastes like Snickers ice cream. Absolutely amazing. This was definitely my favorite candy out of the 5. Once I tried it, it was very hard to stop eating it. But we have 4 more candies to make, so let's move on to the gummy bears, or gummy hearts in this case. To make them, you will need orange juice because we're making orange flavored gummies, water, lemon juice, maple syrup, and vegan jello. I found this brand at Whole Foods. Combine all ingredients except for jello in a small pot and heat over medium heat. Whisk until everything is well incorporated and start gradually adding the jello while continuing to whisk. Place a silicone mold on a baking tray and fill it with the mixture. As you can see, I made a huge mess here, but now that everything is cleaned up, let's place our hearts in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes to set. And our gummy hearts are ready. You can definitely create other flavors by using a different juice. I also tried making strawberry and raspberry flavored gummies, and they turned out really good. Next on our list is chocolate peanut butter cups. Oh yeah, here are the ingredients that you will need: vegan chocolate chips and peanut butter. That's it. Line a muffin tin with cupcake liners. Next, melt your chocolate chips in a double boiler. Mine is a DIY, which is basically a pot with boiling water and a bowl on top of it. Make sure to stir the chocolate chips as they're melting to make sure that you don't burn the chocolate. Once I see that most of the chips have melted, I like to reduce the heat to low. Next, put 1 teaspoon of melted chocolate into the liners and spread them with the spoon to make sure that they cover the entire bottom. Now let's place them to set in the fridge for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes in the fridge, your chocolate should be hard. Now let's add 1 teaspoon of peanut butter into each tin. You don't have to spread it because you don't want it to reach the sides completely. Back in the fridge for another 10 minutes. And the final step is to add 2 teaspoons of melted chocolate chips on top of the peanut butter. This layer you do want to spread to cover all of the peanut butter and the sides. Place the chocolate cups in the fridge again for about 20 minutes and your chocolate peanut butter cups are ready to be devoured. I loved this candy. I think it's the easiest one to make out of the 5 and it tastes, in my opinion, better than the original one. And I don't even like peanut butter that much. The next candy we're going to make is Twizzlers. You will need dates, water, lemon juice, beet juice, freeze-dried fruit. I'm using banana and strawberries, and salt. Add dates, lemon juice, and salt to a food processor and start blending. You also want to gradually add your water. Blend until you reach a smooth consistency. Next, add the beet juice, which we're using as natural food color, and the freeze-dried strawberries, which are going to give the Twizzlers a strawberry taste. Blend one more time until everything is combined. How pretty is this color? Now let's grab a star piping tip and place it inside of a piping bag or a Ziploc bag. Place the bag into a tall glass and add the mixture that we just made. Place parchment paper on top of the baking sheet and start piping the batter onto it from one edge to the other. You want to apply uniform pressure in order to create straight lines. Now that you're done, you want to place the tray into a dehydrator, but since I don't have one, I just preheated my oven to the lowest setting, which is 170 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to dehydrate or bake my Twizzlers for about 5 to 6 hours. When you're done, this is what your homemade Twizzlers should look like. My mom actually really liked these ones. And the last candy we're going to make today, but definitely not the least tasty one, is Twix. First, we're going to make the crust. The ingredients for the crust are oats, coconut flour, coconut oil, maple syrup, and vanilla. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Add oats to a food processor and process for about 2 to 3 minutes until they turn into oat flour. Combine all crust ingredients in a bowl and mix well. Grease a baking tray with coconut oil and add the batter. Press the batter with your hands to form a rectangle that is about ½ an inch high. Then grab a fork and make a few holes in your crust. Once you're done, you're going to bake the crust for about 12 to 15 minutes until it becomes golden. Let the crust cool down while we prepare the caramel layer. You will need almond butter, maple syrup, coconut oil, vanilla, and salt. Combine all of the ingredients in a small pot and heat over medium-low heat while whisking for about 5 minutes. So now you know 2 ways of making healthy homemade caramel. One using dates like we did for our Snickers, and the second one is this one. Honestly, both of them taste incredible. When your crust has cooled completely, pour the caramel on top and spread with a spatula. Put the tray in the freezer to chill for about an hour. Meanwhile, you can prepare the chocolate layer using the same method as we did for the Snickers bars. Once the caramel layer has set, pour the chocolate on top and spread with a spatula again. Return the tray to the freezer for another hour. Now that the chocolate has hardened, you can cut our big rectangle into individual bars. Make sure that you're using a sharp knife and be patient. I actually asked my dad for assistance with this, as you can see. By the way, on Friday, I will be sending out my newsletter for October, and there might be a bonus recipe for another DIY candy in there. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, check out the link in the description. Once you're done with the cutting, your Twix is ready. And I have to say, everyone in my family love this candy a lot. So if you're going to choose just one of these recipes to make, I'd probably go for this one. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you love candy as much as I do, please give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, let me know in the comments down below what candy you're looking forward to trying the most. Check out fatbunch.com because I'll have all the measurements and directions posted for you there. I also included some extra tips to make sure that your candy turns out perfect. I love you guys very much. I wish you Very fun and safe Halloween. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.